had many great highlights in your career, but what is the most memorable highlight of your career?
The most memorable was when Howard Kendall made me captain. That's the most memorable moment that happened. When he come and he called me up into his wee offices, he did, you know, and he said to me, you had Waggy there, you had Dave Watson there, who was the captain at the time, and he said, you know, what do you think about coming to be the captain, you know what I mean? And I said, it'd be fantastic. I said, but only if Waggy okayed it. If Waggy okayed it, I'd be happy to do that, you know. So he gave me that confidence, you know what I mean? Because another manager wouldn't have did that. I mean, I don't know why, like. I'm not quite sure why he didn't want to make me captain, you know.
The calming influence he had on the pitch, that's why he was skipper. You scored some magnificent goals throughout your career, but what's the most memorable goal you have scored?
Yeah, that's right.
Totally agree with that one.
Yeah, it'd have to be the first one. I'd have to think about the first one, really. When we scored that night, and I think it was a Monday night, and I scored that first one, you know what I mean? That was a fantastic line. I mean, it was unbelievable, what an adrenaline rush. I mean, it was quite funny, really, because it was no funny what... it was Big Joe's first game, as you know, and I'd been out in the, let's say, on the lash, you know what I mean? And
what day were that, young?
It was like, it was the weekend before the game, you know. And so I've been, I've got lifted with the police, you know. And I'm driving my car, you know, it's not nothing, I shouldn't be laughing at really, but I'm driving my car and the police have pulled me out, you know, I've got a wee bud with me and everything, you know what I mean? There's a wee girl in the passenger seat, and so he's pulled me out, and I knew right away he was other mob. I knew right away he was red, right away. So he's got me in the car, and he said, you been drinking? I said, no, I've not been drinking, no. He says, so he breathalyzed me anyway, and he took me to St Anne's. I got dragged to St Anne's, and as I'm getting out of the car, the wee girl like said, where are you going, you know what's happening? I says, look, there's my room key. I says, I'll be back, you know what I mean? I don't know when. I said, I don't know when I'll be back, but I'll be back, you know what I mean? So there's my room key, away you go. So I get dragged off to St Anne's, like, and they're saying to me, the doctor's coming down, and there was a few blue noses then appeared, a few of the policemen, you know, with blue noses then. So I'm in this cell, and they're handing in jugs of water to me, you know, through the hatch. So I never know
the water become.
Water, right? Because they'd phoned for the doctor. They phoned for the doctor to come down because on the breathalyzer, I'd only breathalyzed 50, and I think it was 35 in your breath at the time. I was only 15 mil air. Now, I don't know how that happened because I drunk 5 bottles of red wine. But anyway, I'm getting the water through the hatch, you know. So I'm drinking. I said, what's going on here? He said, the doctor's coming down. I said, what for, like? He said, well, they're going to take your blood. I said, why is that like? He said, well, because you've only blew 15 mil out of the limit. I'm thinking to myself, dearie me, take my blood. I said, I was on the lash on Saturday, I was on the lash on Friday, I was on the lash on Thursday. I said, don't take my blood whatever you do. But in the end, they take my blood, and I was still 15 mil in the limit. So they've let me back out Sunday morning. It's, I don't know, 6, 7 in the morning. I'm sure somebody's have been there, like. And I give me my shoes back, I put my laces back on, you know, and I'm thinking, I've got a derby game tomorrow night. It's Sunday morning, and I'm thinking, dearie me, Joe Royals, his first game, or what's going to happen here? So, anyway, I go back in, I go back to the hotel. So I go back to the hotel, and I'm getting in my room. And you know, I'm thinking like this, look, what's going on? Why can't I get in my room? I've not got my key. So I goes back down to the reception, comes back up, opens the door, walks in, the bird's always still there and shit. I won't tell you the rest of it, but there you go. And so that took me on to the game then on the Monday morning. So we goes up to the derby game, didn't we? And I'm obviously this time after I've let everybody do, and I've had a drink, I shouldn't have had a drink. And you know, it really fired me up, you know what I mean? I thought to myself, dearie me, I'm going to have to pay this fella back, you know what I mean? Because it's there was a lot of money involved at the time, the transfers. I mean, I was still a Rangers player at the time, but I wanted to come here, you know. So I went up to the match, and you know, just I gave everything I had, you know what I mean? And in the end, Joe got his first win as the managers against Liverpool. We got the result, you know.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know, the girl left the room 2 minutes after Duncan entered.
I know, I've sobered up with him.
We've talked about your favourite Everton goal, but what about the disallowed one against Villarreal as well? I've got to bring it up, sorry about that, but what an injustice that were.
Yeah, well, I must admit, I mean, that was the worst moment in my career, believe it or not. Because, I mean, that was a complete liberty, really. I knew the guy had it in me for day one, because when we started the match, after 30 seconds, I pinned the boy back like as a day, somewhere like that. And he's blew right up right away. And I thought to myself, that's a bit, you know, that's not right, that. And he knocked me on the head right away in 30 seconds. I was actually scared to do anything then, really, no. I was getting a bit like, you know, God, I mean, he's on my case. And then as the game was going on, and I scored that goal, I mean, what he saw, I've got no idea. And I think, as you watch the video, he turns to go to the halfway line. He's realised it's me, and he's went, oh, I can go for this now, because there'll be a foul somewhere. And as I've stopped, and I'm thinking, right, I'm wheeled away, come back, what's going on? He's shouting, Marcus Ben, you know, I'm going, Marcus Ben? I says, where's Marcus Ben? No, I mean, he says, he was away outside the boxes he normally was, you know what I mean? He's standing outside somewhere. I'm going, Marcus Ben's had a foul. So he starts the game quickly and away we go. So I mean, that was a disgrace really. I think the fella was, you know, bang out the order there. Like.
Played against many good defenders, don't? They're all walking about now a bit bent-nosed. But who was the hardest defender that you came across, either in Scottish football or English football?
Well, I can't single one out really, because to be fair, they're all hard. You know what I mean? It's no easy in the Premier League, and there's no centre backs that are easy touches really. You know what I mean? They're all difficult. They're all tough. I mean, the one I would think about at the moment would be the one across the road, the one that was up against me for a long time, Big Sammy Hippie. I mean, he was tough. He wasn't. He was tough because he kept on coming back from there. If you know what I mean? You know. They'd knock him down and he'd get back up again. So he was definitely a tough fella and a good player and very underrated. He's a great player. I mean, you've got guys like Tony Adams, Gary Pallister, Steve Bruce, Keown, Adams, Sol Campbell. You know, I played against all them, like, and they're all tough guys as well. Like, never an easy ride. Never. He's a German, wasn't he? Let's be fair.
Must have also played against some great players as well, don't? Not against you, but like obviously midfield players. I know Rudullik, you're a big player, Rudullik.
Yeah, I mean, when I made my play for Scotland a lot of years ago, I played in the European Championships, which was, I think it was only 19 or 20 at the time, and I was on the bench as a substitute. And when I'm watching the game and I see Hullet, I see Van Basten, I see Koeman, I mean Rijkaard. You know, you're sitting there looking at him. I mean, Hullet was like a gazelle. I mean, he was unbelievable. The way he just flowed across the grass, I thought to myself, dearie me, there is a player. I'm not a player. You know, I'm not a player. At the time, I was getting touted to get a big move at the time. I was sitting there watching him, and we're not kidding you. We were terrified of him. We couldn't get near him. So he'd one that really stuck out. And as it happens, in that game, when I've come off the bench, Rijkaard, who was playing midfield at the time, the manager, I can't remember his name now, the manager...
To a place that I call home, and I'm sure you do, and everybody in here does. What was your thoughts about returning to Goodison, back to Goodison from Newcastle?
Yeah, I mean, at age he's not, I didn't want to move at the time anyway, you know what I mean? It was out my hands a wee bit, like, I don't want to go into that too much. But when I come back, I mean, I couldn't wait, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, by the way, I loved it up there. Newcastle was a good club. Good people, you know what I mean? Yeah. Good people. And good hard working people, you know what I mean? And they love, to be fair, they love guys like me up there who get stuck in, some like yourselves. But so when I come back and I got the phone call to come back, you know what I mean? I was my wife's there, and we just had a baby, and she was Scouser, you know what Scouse birds are like, you know what I mean? They take me across the water, by the way, they want to come back. They can't go to Birkenhead, they want to come back here. So Newcastle's on the side of the world to her, you know what I mean? So she said, so as I get off the phone to the chairman, I mean the bags are packed like she's on the way, you know what I mean? Nothing mentioned about contract, nothing mentioned about nothing, let's just get back. So, you know, he obviously speaks for himself. I jumped in the car, we drove down, and I didn't know what I was getting offered, I didn't know what the contract was, I just went like, you know, let's get back and let's get it sorted out. So I was made up, you know what I mean?
I know you're back at Finch Farm, Everton's training ground, and I've watched you, I've been up there, Duncan. I know you're taking it deadly serious, you're taking your coaching badges. How are you finding that at the minute?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's been good, like, it's you know, something different, something I've not been used to because I've been away for 5 years. So it's not been quite as, you know, flowing as you know, as you think, like after 5 years being away for the game, you know what I mean? But after a few weeks you start to find your feet, you start to get the thing, all the pictures come back. You know, so I've got all the young lads, I've done training on the young lads, I've walked in with a pair of boxing gloves on the first day, I've got a helmet on the next day, you know what I mean? So they're all doing their skipping and sparring and left hooks are going on left, right and centre. So they might not be playing, but they'll toughen themselves up, that's for sure.
Brilliant. Well, because you've been back and you've been at Finch Farm and you've been watching the lads in training and you've watched most of the games as well, have you?
They have seen
first team games. What do you think of the Blues' performances this season?
Yeah, I think you know, started well, I think, slowed off a wee bit. I think you know, I think it's all the same, we're still waiting it, we're waiting for that wee push, you know what I mean? It's not been easy for the club. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I think they're doing alright, you know what I mean? If we get this cup run, you know what I mean, and that'd be the one winner. You know, if we can get this next team knocked off Sunderland, we get them, get into the semis, anything can happen. I think it could be our year, you know what I mean? That's what we're all looking for, right? A good cup run. I'm looking for a good night out anyway.
Well, that was one of my final questions, Dunk. We've got Sunderland. Can we go on and win the FA?
Yeah. You know, we can, you know what I mean? We can do it, you know what I mean? We're there, we're in the mix, you know what I mean? And we're at home, which is always good, you know, in front of you lads and that, you know what I mean? Let's be fair, like, I mean, nobody gets an easy ride at Goodison. Nobody. I mean, there's no other team comes to us and gets an easy ride. You know what I mean? It's a Saturday, the game's a Saturday, aye? I love the games at night, but you know they get fed at night, you know what I mean? Them night games are fantastic. I don't know what it is, you know what I mean? But them night games are brilliant. But I mean, we should run early. We'll be too strong for them. Use guys behind us, behind the team. There won't be a problem there. We'll run at the top of them, no problem.
I just want to finish on one question, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a Yorkshireman, you're a Scotsman, Dunk.
Yeah.
We're labelled as tied. We're not tied, by the way. We're Scotsman. But why has this club got a special place in your heart? I know what it means to me, and as I say, I'm not a Scouser. I'm a Yorkshireman, but I absolutely don't. But I know exactly how you feel about this club. Why has it got a special place?
I mean, when I first come down here for Rangers, I mean, when I was a kid, I mean, I supported Rangers. When I was a young kid, you know what I mean, I liked the Rangers. Because my old man liked Rangers and family liked Rangers, you know, and all that stuff. So when I come down here originally, the very first time, you know, I knew about Everton. I know Howard Kendall tried to sign me 2 years before it. He couldn't get me for Dundee United at the time because he wouldn't sell me. So I knew about the club. I knew a wee bit about the area. So when I come down for the first, you know, the first wee bit, I mean, the first couple of days of the first week, I knew then. This is the place for me, you know what I mean? This is where I wanted to be. And it was Everton, it was the fans, it was the people, it was the Scousers, it was the city, you know, all good people, good hard-working, salt-earth people, you know what I mean? And I thought to myself, yeah, I can do it here. I'll do it. This is the place. And you know, it was the best. I'm telling you, it was the best decision I ever made. And just on the football side, it was the best. It was the best. But you know, on the family side, I met my wife and my 3 kids in Liverpool. Well, I never had the 3 kids, like see them. But you know, so I met my wife here, and you know, when my family's here, I come back here. This is where I call home. I've got a place here. I mean, I never want to leave the place, you know what I mean? And as I said, you know, that 5 years being away, I mean, it was horrendous. But I mean, it's great to be back now. It's great to be back in here with all proper people.
4. Yes, I will. I'll just do it random. I'll do it random. Table 16. Table 16. Don't know who it is. Is that over there? One question.
Can you fight Stephen Freund?
That would be a mismatch, by the way. I'm only 15 stone, he's only 12 stone. There's no chance. That's why I picked him the first time.
It's a joint table question.
Are you going to be our next manager?
He can't answer that question because if he said yes, me on Radio City and the Echo would have an absolute birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to finish that, but I'll tell you what, I'm not saying you were nervous when he came in, but how well did he do up there, man? Please, one more time, Duncan Ferguson.
Ladies and gentlemen, Duncan Ferguson.